Tell me what you think of this, you guys. This is coming from In the Know, and it says mom faces backlash for reaction to teenage son's new job. He isn't free childcare. Now, the mother is upset because her son went out and got a job without her permission. And so she's all upset, and she took to the forum to talk about uh, you know about how she was upset that her son got this job. He did not tell her about it because her and her husband, they have planned their life around their son being a babysitter and watching his younger sisters while they are at work. And this is what she says: her son usually watches his younger sisters while she's at work. But when he unexpectedly got a job, that foiled the mother's child care plans. Her son didn't think his job was an issue. Now, if I'm an 18-year-old, because the son is 18 years old, he's going to be attending community college and is living with her husband, and his two younger half sisters. Now, listen to this. The son has two half sisters, which obviously his mother had children by her current husband. So she's saying, matter of fact, she's answering her own question, you guys. He's going to be going to attending community college. He's 18. He got a job. Now, isn't that how we should be looking at it? And don't we expect our children to grow up to be responsible, to learn how to be independent, so that they can leave the nest and be able to take care of themselves on their own, right? So she's saying all of this, and I got that. But then she gets upset and she says, the other day I found out that he found and accepted a job without telling her. And I was upset with him about it. Well, I can see him not telling her that she might be upset because he would be leaving and the house. But guess what? She's upset because he got a job and her child care, her babysitter is no longer available to babysit her children that her and her husband had. And so to me, it sounds very selfish because you're not even looking at the fact that he's a young man. He's 18 years of age. He's going to be attending college and a job. And not only that, though, with college comes studying. How is he going to watch his younger sisters if he has to study, if he has to prepare for an exam, if he has papers and assignments and classwork to write? That's going to be difficult trying to babysit two children while he is studying. And then once he goes to work and come home, he has to make time for his classwork and things like that and prepare. So how, and for projects that he's going to be involved in, so how is that going to interfere? That will definitely, interfere in his studies and things like that. So they would need to get child care for their children anyway, because these are their children. That's not his children. They're their children. And she should have thought about that she should have started planning ahead of time, that my son's 18, or he's going to be turning 18 before he turned 18, because he's 18 now, and he's going to be eventually getting a job, going to college. And so she should have been preparing for at least a responsible babysitter to come in and help, take care of the children. So she's saying he should have told me, since we live in the same house, and also, and more importantly, now I'm left without someone to stay with the girls from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. when my shift starts and ends. Well, first of all, that's not his children. That's not his responsibility. It's your responsibility and your husband's responsibility to get proper child care. Because if something happens to those children in your son's care, they're gonna want to charge him if it's something that happens very bad, and then he's gonna be in jail, and you're gonna be dealing with that too. So because he is considered 18 now, so you as the mother and your husband need to find proper child care for your two girls, and he shouldn't be watching his two little half siblings anyway at this age. I don't believe he should be doing that, because if anything was to happen, guess what? They're gonna blame him, and he has a right to start his life. And he's 18, and he has to start his life. And it seems like you, mom, are trying to interfere in your son's life, and he's going up into manhood. And then there's the husband there, which is obviously the stepfather. You know, so you and your husband needs to figure out what you all are going to do with your two daughters, your young daughters. So she said, my son is usually the one to stay home with the girls, and his new job is doing these hours. So one way or another, we are impacted. Yeah, you are impacted because now he has a job. He has a job and he needs to be able to earn him some money and become independent. And he's going to need money for books and school expenses, of course. And so it says, but when she and her husband confronted her son over the issue, the teenager didn't think it was a big deal. Well, they shouldn't be confronting him. They should not confront him. Now, should they talk with him and just say, we thought that, you would give us some notice? And I think the reason why he didn't give them any notice because he knew that his mother and her stepfather was going to have a problem with it and try to interfere in him getting a job. And that is why he didn't give them notice. From what I'm looking at, thinking of reading between the lines. But they shouldn't have confronted him. They should have had a talk with him in a respectful manner because he is a young man at 18 years of age, but you confronted him. He told you it was not a big deal because it's not a big deal, not for him, because he has to live his life. You know what I'm saying? And so she says, my husband travels most of the time. He's a pilot, and paid childcare is a no for me, she wrote. Hmm. Paid childcare is a no, but you have children and you just thought you was going to use your son up. Well, how long did this mother think she was going to use her son? And how long does he have to put his life on hold? You know what I mean? Before she does something about her child care issues. And she says, my son said I shouldn't be surprised by him trying to work to save money to be able to pay for himself, but that is just absurd since he literally lives with us without having to pay for anything except for his own entertainment. Well, if he gets a cell phone, he may want to start paying his own cell phone bill. If he gets a car, he may want to have to put gas in his car, maybe pay his car insurance. There's a lot of things that this mother is not taking into consideration. But all parents are different. But I'm gonna tell you, with my son, I wouldn't have never stood in his way of him getting a job, which I did not. I was glad he got one because now you have your own money that you can, do what you need to do. He even paid his own cell phone bill after he, was able to get the phone he wanted. He started paying his own cell phone bill when he was a 18-year-old, still living at home. I mean, he put gas in his car, and he did some things that he bought. He started to buy things that he wanted, and if he didn't have enough money, yeah, I contributed because I knew he was trying, and I was thankful for that. We have to raise our children to be responsible, and I think that this woman is standing in the way, and I believe she's the one that it's absurd on. She's being absurd, not the child, not the young man at 18 years of age, but she's being absurd. So anyway, she says we kept arguing. So she was arguing with her 18-year-old son about her children that she had, that she's responsible for child care, her and her husband. But she's arguing with her son, and they were arguing, and my husband got involved, and he too was upset, saying that my son had no respect for us. The son has respect for them. That's why he's trying to make it on his own. That's why he's trying to be the man that they raised him to be. And they are not seeing it. They saying no respect because they want him to be their babysitter forever. Now, this is a young man that has a life of his own. He has a right to move on and live his life. And they are saying he has no respect for them because they're not getting their way because they want him to stay their babysitter forever. And they need to go pay for babysitting. That's what they really need to do is get a good babysitter to sit with their daughters from 3 to 8 p.m. And so she said, my son basically had a like it or not attitude with us and kept refusing to discuss this with us, saying we have no right to be upset with him and should just accept it. I agree with the young man. They don't have a right to be upset with him. And they do need to accept it. They need to accept it. Like he said, like it or not attitude. They need to accept it. And he doesn't need to discuss it anymore unless they're going to sit down and discuss it in a manner where there can be a compromise. But they need to respect that this is a young man who's 18 years of age and he is actually trying to move on. And he probably wants to move on eventually to get his own place so that they can stop doing him like that because they are using him as a babysitter and they're not even paying him, just like she said childcare, outside childcare is a no go. But yet and still, you're not even paying him. And it would be different if y'all offered to pay him what his part-time job is going to pay him, but you're not. And that's why he isn't free childcare. He definitely isn't free childcare. And so she says, but I think that he's being inconsiderate of my husband's, and I struggle to provide for the family as a whole. Well, 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 well. First of all, you had no business having children that you cannot afford to take care of. And you're trying to put that struggle on him and make him feel guilty. And mom, you're selfish and you're wrong. And you and your husband have a job, and you're saying he's being considered because you and your husband, you know, of you and your husband's struggle to provide for the family as a whole. That's not his responsibility. That's not on him. That's on you all. If you are struggling, that's on you as the parents. When you have children, you have to plan for these children before you have them, so that if you're already struggling, why keep having children and you're already struggling? And I stand on that. Yes, sometimes accidents happen, but if you are already struggling, you should be doing everything you can to prevent from having more children until you're able to afford to do so. And so you trying to put this struggle on your son at 18 years of age. You're putting a heavy burden trying to on his shoulders. And he's telling you, I'm not getting ready to let you put that on my shoulders. I'm not getting ready to let you put that burden on me. Your struggle is your struggle. And right now he's struggling because that's why he got a job. Because he said there are some things that he's going to want to do. And he needs to have money to do them. And you should be thankful that he got a job. Because maybe he would be willing to give you 20, 30, $40 here and there. That's not making sense. And so uh, the mother is being unreasonable. He is a free child care. And you cannot force your son to give up his life to take care of your children, because that's what you asking him to do, is give up his life to take care of your children. You got to take care of your own kids or pay someone else to do it. And that's really true. And it's unfortunate. I mean, but that's what you need to do. You need to get some child care, and because he's at an age where he has a right to live his life and to start, carving out, carving out a life for himself. So the mother is wrong. Her and the husband is wrong. And talking about this disrespect and all of that, no, it's not disrespect. Matter of fact, they're disrespecting him by not allowing him, or trying to actually, I would say, prevent or stand in his way of carving out a life for him. And so I salute the young man. I approve this message. Young man, do what you do. Don't get in trouble like you doing. You got a job. You plan on going to community college. I salute you and I support you. And the mother and father, you all need to be ashamed of yourself. It is absurd of you to do that, and you need to pay for child care, and you need to get it together and don't have any more children, since your struggle is real. But you should not be trying to put that on your son and put that on his shoulders, because that is not fair and it's not right. And leave your comments below. Um, Rate the video, share the video, but leave your comments below, because there's a lot of parents out there that's probably making their older kids keep their siblings, and they want to live their life too. And then when something happens, it's a big problem. CPS gets involved. So, you might want to think about that. Let your children live their life and carve out a life for themselves. You got to be able to do that. You cannot be unreasonable. So again, leave your comments below. Thank you very much. Bye.